Welcome to part 2 in our ceramic identity box series. In this video, we'll begin to assemble our box. Our slabs have dried overnight in a stack with newspaper in between. In fact, you can even see that the newspaper is a little damp. So our slabs are close to leather hard, and we're going to lay them out and begin to bevel the edges, which means we're going to cut each edge at a 45-degree angle so that when we put them all together, they fit cleanly into a cube. In order to get a 45-degree angle cut in each tile, I'm placing it at the edge of my table and aligning my knife at a 45-degree angle along the edge of the table and using that to guide my knife straight across the tile. And I rotate each one as I go. Take your time beveling each edge and make sure that you're cutting as cleanly and consistently as you can. Now that each edge has been beveled, I'm going to go back and score every side of these tiles that I'm fitting together. Make sure you go around scoring at least 2 directions on every side of your beveled edge. This will give it some grip when we go to slip together all of the parts. With all of our sides thoroughly scored, we're going to apply a generous amount of slip to all of our parts. This clay paste is the glue that's going to hold our box together, so use as much as you can. Now we're ready to start pressing our pieces together. Bring 2 sides together and the bottom and firmly press them together and rub the seams in order to stick them well together. The 2 sides and the bottom should help support each other and hold up strong as we add our other parts. Remember to use a good helping of slip on each seam in order to give it some strength. Carefully but firmly press your pieces together in order to stick them. Before I stick on the last part, our top, I'm going to make sure that all the seams are thoroughly pressed together and firm before I close it up. Apply a generous amount of slip and press the top into place. Now I'm pressing on and smoothing out every seam, and I'm going to gently tap the box on each side on the table as I go in order to make sure each part is firmly attached. As the box begins to seal itself shut, an air bubble inside the box will help it to keep its shape. This is a good opportunity to go back with a rib tool and smooth out all of your seams and clean up your box a little bit before we move on to the next step. From here on out, it's a good idea to try to keep the surface of your box and your workspace as clean as possible so that you end up with the best craftsmanship at the end. Now we're going to store this in a bag overnight to allow it to stiffen up, and in our next session we're going to begin to cut the top.